Hey guys, and welcome back to Forgecraft. Today's big day and we finally start actually building on the thing, but before I do that, building the cruciform building that is, before I do that I have to walk you through some things that I've done between episodes. First of all, you'll notice that these are enchanted, for which I used the Ender.io enchanter. You can make enchanted books using a book and quill and some resources. So for example, I had just made the boost 3, which takes 48 gold ingots and 40 experience points plus a book and quill, and you get the enchanting book, and then you have to enchant the object that you want to enchant. So what did I put on things? Well, I put looting on my sword, and I put fortune, efficiency and XP boost on the pick. So why did I enchant the pick so much? Well, we come across to our good friend the excavator. You also notice this, I'll comment on this in a second. I hooked it up with a permanent power solution. We have the infinite lava, and if I simply connect it, it'll start running. And this is enough magmatic engines, fully upgraded magmatic engines mind you, to keep this thing running infinitely. So that's a good thing. Now I've already harvested and used some lapis, which is how I could afford all this junk. But this is what it's picked up in the meantime. A lot of resources. So that's why I had turned it off, because I kind of didn't want to overflow that double chest. I know I could turn it into an iron chest of some sort with a larger capacity, but we're just not there yet. And how I was harvesting it was over here, and this is why I upgraded the pick. Clock, block placer, inside, lapis, and then I just stand here and break it. Which also doubled as an effective way, which is why I put XP boost on it, to get myself some XP. Right? And then I would, once my inventory was full of lapis, I would drop off my experience, and using a normal crafting table, because this one responds to hotkeys and the one that Tinker's has does not respond to hotkeys, I would turn it into lapis blocks and drop it off in the tablet. Now I was storing it as diamond blocks, but I've moved to shiny metal blocks from thermal foundation, because they're worth about double that of diamond, and it's just useful to store it as the most expensive thing that you have. So yeah, that's how I've been doing that. Let's talk about the giant open area. I need to get at Firebat. It was raining before, so I'm very lucky right now. But as you can see, we have an enormous area. Now it's not totally accurate, because I made a mistake. People on the who were watching the live stream know that it's not a perfect cross. The cruciform building is not a perfect cross. The wings opposite each other are slightly misaligned to each other. So like this wing would be further left in this area, and this wing would be further right. And it's the same for the north and south as well. So really this area and this area should have been slightly aligned differently. But we can make do for now. It'll be small adjustments as we go. And where we're going to start today, it's accurately placed. And good thing it just turned nighttime, because it gives us a full day ahead. So from there, I'm going to turn myself back into a real person. Jump into this here bed. Get me some bricks. Lots and lots of bricks. I fully upgraded this barrel, by the way. It has a level 81 storage upgrade in it. So as you can see, it has 7,554 bricks in there. It can store 335,872. It's going to take a while for that to fill up. Anyway, it did stop too at one point because I'll explain the problem. This, I had forgot, was producing gravel, and the gravel barrel ended up filling up, and then the gravel ended up filling up here, and then the sand ran out and gravel went into the bottom barrel. So I ended up having to upgrade this one and stick a void upgrade in it. So any new gravel just gets voided. Let's grab some bricks. And from here, we're going to start doing a layout. See you soon. So, you saw at the end of the little time-lapse there, how the construction's going so far. We actually have a vague outline going on. I haven't quite finished with all the internal bits of the floor plan, which I'm going to do with you now, because I went and checked the time and had about 20 minutes into the episode. So I've got to fill in 10 more. So we're going to just do that the good old-fashioned way with me rambling. It's actually the next day, so I need to go over with you over a couple of other things that I've done. I've built this thing because I needed experience quite badly. I wasn't getting experience fast enough. And what this does is, and I borrowed some resources, or the ability to make the resources into stuff from T-Fox. But, and you'll notice I'm flying. I'll talk about that in a second. So what this does is we have our witch friends being ground up by an MFR grinder. Now, MFR grinders create essence, which isn't actual liquid XP. So what actually has to happen here is the essence goes into this auto enchanter, which is being filled with bottles, which are being supplied by this. This has been B-space connected to the glass barrel over here. So that's up there, and this is a molecular assembler which has a recipe in it individually, rather than being part of a applied energetics crafting system, and that's just making bottles and filling this. And then once bottles made, the bottle goes into the dispenser, and this here is a advanced block update detector, and basically once this detects a change in the inventory, it creates a redstone pulse, which makes the dispenser fire off the XP bottle, which this vacuum hopper then picks up as liquid XP and puts it into this experience obelisk. Okay, so it's all a bit tricky, but it's a way to convert essence into liquid XP, since they are not dictionary compatible. So anyway, what else did I do? I made a flight ring, which I've got over here. I got that off a zombie, but I made an invisible angel ring, which is giving me flight. And the way that I did that is I have a division sigil. And then I went and got a nether star, or rather traded for a nether star using our copious amounts from somebody who had already learnt nether star, which was T-Fox. So now, instead of everything being put into shiny blocks, it's all compressed down into nether star blocks. So we have 24 million EMC sitting in there. Anywho, we've got to get on with the rest of the episode, so I shall return in a second. Okay, I return, and as part of returning, I'm going to turn TeamSpeak back on.
Microphone activated.
Because we've got Vagram and stuff. Say hi, guys.
Hello.
No.
Fine, mean, sorry.
Neither one of us said hi. Neither one of us said hi. You said hello, I said no.
Hello is acceptable.
No. Curses. Micah.
Say hi, guys isn't totally literal, sorry.
Hi, guys.
See, that would be even worse. And as I said, say hi, guys, I was expecting Vagram, of all people, to say hi, guys.
Please.
I grew up with reruns of George and Gracie, George Burns and his wife, where the show ended up every single night with, say goodnight, Gracie, and she would always say, goodnight, Gracie.
You're also turning very robotic, Vagram. I think your ISP hates you.
Bandwidth.
I don't
It's
think it's
probably
just him.
bandwidth somewhere in Texas.
That sucks.
Lass, you here?
Swamp.
Why did I make...
Soren is playing Creativerse, guys, so he's going to be
I
mumbling
need to
about
be
things that
analyzer
don't
thingy.
exist.
I don't know why I made that. That song is stuck in my head, and I can't figure out why.
Your singing is on my recording. You are being recorded.
Oh, McDonald! As bad as singing as possible go. Oh, McDonald, what's this like? It's like, oh, aye. I do wish I could just pick up the torches back, because mining the torches is just slow.
Low?
Slow. Like,
As in
it's
low blow?
breaking a block. Like, slow, as in
Oh,
not
slow. S.
Fast. Unrapid.
Okay, I'm on the same page now.
Are you sure we're in the same book, though?
Maybe.
I'm very certain I'm turning pages and no one's following along with me.
Maybe. Alright, guys. So, now I have to sleep again. Look at the timing. The timing and me and daytime and nighttime in Minecraft is just awful. Hang on. Alright, so where was I? We were wrapping up. I've finished doing the internal lines, so you can see, and I'll explain why these exist in the first place. The brick is the outside. This is what's going to be seen when you're standing outside of the building, right? You're going to see all the brick. But when you're inside, it's not going to be made of brick. That would be too cold and gross. So the idea here is we're just marking out, I know I'm using oak wood. I haven't really decided what the internals are going to be because I haven't had a good photograph of the inside of the cruciform building, but these mark the inside walls, and where they come out to the outside is because that's a sub building that was part of the floor plan that I found. So you'll notice that, like, there's a sub building, there's a sub building, that one over there, part of the end of this building is a sub building, and over here is a whole bunch of sub building stuff. So that's all part of these builds, and the reason I'm holding glass is, you'll notice I've left a whole bunch of gaps in the build as I've gone along, and that's because the glass goes here, and the reason I haven't actually put it into the build is because, well, into this floor plan here, is because, well, it's glass. The windows aren't on the very, very, very bottom. And I'm going to have to build up from there and find out where that glass is going, but that gives you an idea, because the gaps are basically just saying there's windows here at some point in the building. Again, the floor plan wasn't very good, so I'm going to have to do some in-depth research, because this thing is 6 stories tall. It's massive. We're going to have a lot of fun building it, I think, in the future. And I just kind of, I'm so glad that I can see it in game now. The floor plan, I can see the floor plan in game now, and it's a lot more interesting than I thought it was going to be. It should be a lot of fun to build, and we can see it pretty well on our journey map. The reason that popped up is because I just refreshed the instance. There was an update. So that is the size of the building. It's enormous, utterly enormous. It's how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 and a bit chunks by 12 and a bit chunks. That's ridiculous. It's 190 by 190. In fact, we should be able to get that on the tape measure now. I only had to shift this one over. This one had enough room that I could make do. But if we come across here and mark the front of, even with flight so slow, mark the front and fly all the way to the south in a straight line. And as you can see, you can better see now as well how the wings are not directly opposite each other, they're actually slightly askew. There we go, 190. I should do that. Okay. So yeah, looking at that, you can see how this one is slightly to the left of this one. This one is slightly south of this one. So it's all gravy in the end. So I think that ends this episode. It's been a pretty long episode, especially with that bit of fun at the end there where I was just doing the lining and you were listening to Soren. But thank you very much for watching, and next episode we're going to get more detailed with this thing. I think we're going to start on this northern wing, and I'm going to try and get some more photos and things to figure out what this northern wing really looks like, and we can go from there. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.